In this video, I'm going to show you how to make and fill vape cartridges in bulk using the cartandpod.com cart filling gun. So the first step is you want to mix your distillate with some terpenes and perhaps other cannabinoids if you have them on hand to make your initial vape oil that will fill into the cartridges. So first step is to measure out some distillate. So you'll need a scale, a beaker, and of course your distillate. I would also recommend writing down the initial weight of your container. That way if you lose track somewhere, you can deduce your total weight used. So my beaker and my stir bar weigh 57.28 grams. So now I'll try to add 50 grams to that. Distillate can be quite hard to initially get out of the jar. I like to use a heat gun to heat up a spoon, and that lets me scoop it out. So I just heat up the spoon with the heat gun. That lets me easily scoop out the distillate. So that's 9.63 grams so far. You can also just heat up your jar of distillate, but I like to not heat it up as much as possible. Oh, I got less than I thought here. So I got 16.32 grams of distillate. That'll be enough for me for now. So 16.32 G distillate. And the total weight is 73.18 G total. That's about right. Next, I will add in some other cannabinoids. So I have some CBG here. Add in exactly 1 gram of CBG. Next, some CBN. Added 0.3 grams of CBN. Some CBG. Added 0.7 grams of CBG. Sorry, CBC. I added 0.7 grams of CBC. And for some CBD, added 1 gram of CBD. So I'll just find my total weight to find out how much terpenes to use. Before you add the terpenes, you're going to want to mix together all of your cannabinoids. So I'll turn on the heat to around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This will heat it up to allow it to mix together with the magnetic stir bar, and it'll also be the appropriate temperature to load into our cart gun when we're ready. Once it's liquid, you can turn on the magnetic spinner, and if you have some stubborn stuff stuck to the side, just use your heat gun to melt it down. I have it set to about 500 degrees. there's just a few flakes of one of the isolates left in there. So it's almost done mixing. It does take a while to mix all the isolates. So now I'm just going to add in some terpenes. So a 4% ratio of terpenes to the amount that I have here. Should I have the paper? One sec. So now I'm just going to add the terpenes. I have 19.32 grams total here, so I need to add 0.98 mLs of terpenes. So the terpenes I'm adding are Relax. They're a terpene blend sold on cartandpod.com. They're terpenes that I've blended personally and I sell on my website. I'll just add the terpenes. Now it's still mixing at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'll let that mix in. But now that I've added the terpenes, I'm going to want to add a top onto it so they don't escape. While that's mixing, I'm going to prepare the vape carts. So they come face down just to keep the dust out. So I'll flip over the ones I'm going to use. These vape carts are also available on cartandpod.com. And I'll just let this mix until the last little flakes of isolate are all fully dissolved. I still see some flakes of isolate mixing in there, and by the time they're done, the terpene should be fully mixed in as well. I have this on the minimal heat. It's max 140 degrees Fahrenheit or less than that. So just keep it at that heat while you're mixing the terpenes. You don't want to damage your terpenes while you're mixing them in, and you don't want to damage your cannabinoids while you're mixing them together and potentially convert them into other cannabinoids. Now in the meantime, I will show you how to set up the cart filling gun. So first you want to preheat your oil to the desired temperature so you can pour it into the gun. We're doing that right now. And then to set the desired temperature of your control unit, first you want to attach the power cord and plug it in. Make sure to also plug in the heater coil. And when you turn it on, you can set your desired temperature by hitting set and cycling through. So I'm going to set it to 140. Turn that off for now. So you want to draw back on the plunger by pressing the lock release button and pulling back and then drawing the plunger tip out. Then you want to remove the oil barrel by unscrewing it from the gun. Make sure to attach your lure lock cap to the gun so that we can insert it into our cartridges. The cart and pod filling gun comes with 3 different sizes to make sure that you can fit them in. Alright, once your oil's up to temperature, simply pour it into the chamber. Make sure not to accidentally get your magnetic stir bar in there. Probably best to remove that first. Then attach the oil barrel back to the gun by vertically screwing it into the gun with the tip facing down. Turn the gun so the tip is facing up and replace the lure lock cap with the lure lock fill tip. I should have had a cap on here and not the filling tip. It could have dripped out. I oopsied there. But yeah, you should have replace the filling cap with this. So you want to face it up and replace a block cap with the filling cap. But luckily I didn't have a spill. So with the tip still up. Alright, so bring the tip close to your oil reserve and squeeze it to release any air bubbles. You can set it to the highest setting, 2.5, to make it easier to squeeze it all out. Once you get approaching to the end there, just switch it up. Make sure you keep it over your beaker and switch it down to the filling amount that you want. Hold it face up so the air bubbles at the top and make sure to squeeze out any air. And turn on your heat barrel and put it onto the gun. Then tighten the knob to attach it thoroughly. Allow it to reach temperature. Set your desired cartridge size, so I'm filling 1 gram cartridges, so that's what it's set at. And I'll let it to reach temperature. You could have started preheating it earlier, but before you put it on, so it's up to temperature before then. But I just didn't want it to potentially burn my mat here. I also took a little long reading the instructions, so the oil's cooled a bit. So I'm going to let it heat up inside of the gun before I start filling the cartridges. That's why a little bit is oozing out the tip, because it's having trouble releasing the pressure from my final squeeze there because the oil cooled slightly. Alright, and then you're good to just start filling up your carts. Insert the tip and pull the trigger, and 1 squeeze should release 1 gram. Wait till you hear the click and let go. My oil's still a little thick here, so slowly squeeze the trigger until you hear the click. Don't squeeze too hard too fast, or you won't get the full gram out. It's a lot easier than using a syringe, that's for sure. Then just screw on the caps after filling and you're done. This makes it much easier to fill carts on a larger scale than dealing with a syringe and keeping your oil hot on the hot plate. You don't have to worry about it cooling down in your syringe and being really hard to get out. This makes it so much simpler. If you want to purchase the Cart&Pod cart filler, go to cartandpod.com and check it out. It's currently on sale for 240 Canadian dollars. This was my first time using it, and if I could figure it out, you should be able to.